Hello children, good morning to you all. Yesterday we started a very interesting topic, history, about the freedom movement of our country. And I said how the people were able to, how the foreigners were able to enter our great country. Why did they come? They learnt or they heard about the glory of our country, wealth of our country. India was very famous in its goods like cotton, muslin cloth. They believe it is believed that that cloth can be such a very long cloth can be adjusted in matchbox. So soft muslin cloth, silk, spices, pearls, diamonds, handicraft things, etc. So they heard about India, its culture, heritage, its glory, its things, its wealth. Even education wise also India was the highest place. So they wanted to see India and they wanted to do the trade with the Indians. That's why they wanted to come to India. Of course, gradually they started coming through. Yesterday I showed you. And one thing I will tell you, you have a map at home. You are having British rule in India. Map lo anni unnayamma. You open the map and see world map. You take out where is Portugal. You find and how they went around the around Africa and reached Calicut. Everything you can find out there. Easy way to study. Okay, so they came to India. They through Afghanistan. It was a desert, difficult to cross it. Even then, they tried to come, but they had to pay tax for using that route. So they did not want to waste money in it. So what did they do? They wanted to find sea route to India. Why? Because water is freely available in the sea, so nobody can impose any tax on them. So they came through, they came around Africa and reached Calicut. Who? The first Europeans. Who were they? Portuguese. The person who discovered sea route to India was Vasco da Gama, the Portuguese sailor. In which year? 1498. And he took the permission of the king of Calicut. His name was Albuquerque, and he started trading in spice. They started their trading centers in Goa, Daman, Diu, and Calicut, Machilipatnam. Then all others, Spanish people, Dutch people, French people and English people, they all came to India. English people went around India and reached Calcutta. Understand? And they reached Hooghly it is. They started their trading center there with the permission of the Nawab of Bengal. But what did they do? Without his permission, without his notice, they started so many other trading centers which they called factories. Their company name was East India Company, yesterday I told you. And without the permission of the king, they started building the forts around the factories. And when asked, they said to safeguard, to protect their factories, they built. And secretly they had the army also. Understand? And this was not liked by Sirajud-Dowla, the Nawab of Bengal. But he had a stupid minister called Mir Zafar who gave all the secrets of Sirajud-Dowla to the British, Robert Clive, Governor General, called him. Understand? A representative from the Queen of England who came to India, a business head. Okay. And so he asked to remove the army and stop this fortifying increasing the trading centers and all. They did not listen. So invariably, Sirajud-Dowla had to fight with the British. British has advanced army, advanced weapons, and many Indian people were in their favor. So that Sirajud-Dowla alone cannot suppress them, couldn't suppress them. So it was they waged the war in the place called Plassey. So it is very popularly known as Battle of Plassey when it was fought in the year 1757. This 1757 is a landmark in the Indian history of freedom movement. Then he was killed by the British in one more war called Buxar War. He was killed by the British. There ends the matter. Then, as they had some lazy Indian kings and some greedy people in their grip, they were giving them the secrets about the brave kings who did not want to be the slaves of British. So they were giving away their secrets to British. So British could easily establish their empire in India. After establishing their empire in India, only a few places like Mysore, Nizam in Andhra Pradesh, Nizam, and Maratha, the great Shivaji's kingdom, these were not under their rule. They were separate, but they were very few in number. We can count such brave Indian fighters or kings on finger. We can count their number on finger. Very rare they were. So what happened? These people became more and more powerful. After becoming powerful, what was their motto? First, what was their motto? Motto means same, doing business with India. But after they established their kingdom in our country, what was their motto? To make profit for their country. To make profit for their country. They were interested only in making profit from India. How could they do? They did not have any interest in developing the conditions of India. So after the British started ruling our country's situation became very miserable. Very miserable. How? That is what I am going to teach you now. So Indian farmers were using traditional way of farming. India is a country of farmers. Most of the people here are farmers and they are ignorant. Ignorant means they know what is good, what is bad, but they are lacking in education. Okay. Then what happened? These people forced them to grow a plant called indigo. They forced them to grow a plant called indigo. Okay. This indigo plant, what is it? Instead of food grains, which are needed for them, they had to grow this plant, indigo. Wait, let me write the name of the research. Indigo is a kind of plant. Mostly in eastern part of our country, they forced the farmers to grow this crop, plant. It is a dyeing. Dyeing means used in coloring the clothes. Blue color it is. They can convert it by adding some chemicals to it into other colors. So invariably, helplessly, Indian farmers had to grow indigo in their fields, in their farms. That is how they were lacking in food grains. They were unable to get food for their family and all. And this indigo crop, British people used to buy on very low rate from them. Within that money, they had to purchase the things required for their family. This is one crop. Understand? Like that, they had so many other, ways in which they made the Indians poor. Okay? Due to industrial revolution in 17th century, British people, French, Russians and all, they had opened the factories in Europe. And they, using the machines, they produced so many fine quality goods. They produced goods, and they needed a market for it. Wherever they had colonies, whichever countries they were ruling, there they brought their products. So also the British, they brought to India. And what did they do? They forced the Indians to buy their machine-made goods. But in India, nobody knows about any machine in those days. Handicraft goods, handmade things they used to have. So people were buying, they were finishing was good, smooth, looking attractive. But they took the raw material from India. Raw material means what? Cotton is a raw material for cotton industry, silk for silk industry, indigo for dyeing industry. Like that they took away. Coal also they took away from India. Then what happened? They were able to take raw material and they brought the finished goods, machine made goods to India, and forced the people to buy those goods. So that unfortunately the handicraft and cottage industries in India had to shut down. The people of India, who are very expert artists, they used to make beautiful saris, silk saris, prints, and handicraft things. Now in Lepakshi, if you go, you will get such handicraft things, handmade things, carvings and all. There was no market for them. Indians all were forced to buy British goods. So they did not get any market. They had to face lot of loss. And in that way, they had to shut down their business. And moreover, these British people, they were forcing Indians to buy their goods. Next, what did they do? They bought these handmade goods, handicrafts at very, very, very low price and sold them in their country for higher rates. Very rare things, nowhere else in the world handicraft is famous. You know, children, in our country only it was such a great number they used to do. Even now also we have a lot of demand for our handicraft goods. This is the way, second way. First, what did they do? How India became poor under the British rule. First thing, they forced the Indians to grow indigo plant, which was used in dyeing, making colors. Second, they forced the Indians to buy machine-made goods. Third, they took away all the raw materials from India. So there was no raw material for the Indian industries to invest and produce the things. Then fourth, they forced the handicrafts, artisans and cottage industries to sell their goods to them, to the British, in a very low price. Then they sold them at high cost in their country and made money. That is how farmers became poor, industries became poor, artisans became poor, handicraft industry, everything became poor. Then next, means what? They gave way to the cash crops in India, I can tell. On the slopes of Assam hills, they started growing tea. It is the British people who brought tea to India. And now India is the highest producer of tea in the world. Best quality tea, Assam tea. We have in our country now. Next, what happened? They had one more policy, that is called subsidiary alliance policy. Subsidiary alliance policy. What does it mean? The kings, many kings were, weak type of kings. They were not the strong rulers. They were lazy also. They need, ఎంత చాలా అయ్యా మనకు కూర్చొని తినడానికి డబ్బులు దొరికితే చాలు కదా, ఎందుకు ఈ ఆరాటాలు, ఈ హార్డ్ వర్క్స్ మనం చేయాలి, పోతే పోనీలే మన రాజ్యం వాళ్ళు తీసుకొని మనకింత ఏదో పడేస్తే మనం తిని హాయిగా బతుకుదాం అనే మెంటాలిటీ ఉండే కింగ్స్ ఉండే ఇండియాలో అప్పట్లో. సో వాట్ డిడ్ సచ్ పీపుల్ డూ? They made such kings their slaves under the policy called subsidiary alliance policy. Under that, what did they do? They gave some subsidy. Subsidy means what? Now we have subsidy on gas or some other things. Huh? Some amount, fixed amount we are going to get over it from the government. Same way, such kings, they are very loyal, very faithful to the British rule. For them, they gave some huge amount every year and they ruled their country on their name. These kings were only nominal kings. They did not have any rights in their hands. Only the British people would decide everything for them. And they would throw on their face some amount so that they can survive. This is called subsidiary alliance system. Through this also, they took away all the powers from the Indian kings. This is one more reason how India became poor and weak country. The next is doctrine of lapse. What is this doctrine of lapse? Lapse means break. Lapse means break. What is doctrine of lapse? Lord Dalhousie introduced the governor, British governor, Lord Dalhousie introduced this policy of doctrine of lapse. Lapse అంటే గ్యాప్ రావడం, మధ్యలో గ్యాప్ రావడం అంట. బీయింగ్ క్యాన్సల్డ్. సపోజ్ యువర్ ఎంప్లాయ్మెంట్ ఎక్స్చేంజ్లో మీ పేరు రాసి ఉన్నారు, మీరు ఏదో ఆఫీస్లో మీ పేరు ఉంది, యు ఆర్ ఏ మెంబర్. ఇఫ్ యూ డోంట్ అటెండ్ ద మీటింగ్స్ ఆర్ యూ డోంట్ ఈవెన్ గో దేర్ ఫర్ మెనీ ఏ టైమ్స్, ఇర్రెగ్యులర్, lot of gap for your presence, then your name will be cancelled. Your name is lapsed from it. This is called lapse. Doctrine means policy of lapse system. What is this policy of lapse system? So in India we had one rule, children, called adoption rule. What is this adoption? If any person is not having a child of his own, he has the right to adopt the child of others, like his relatives or any poor people or from Anath Ashram, even now also. But there are some rules, they have to follow those rules. Legally, they have to accept that child as their own and they have to look after each and everything of that child, its education, hospital, till its marriage, its settlement, everything. This is called adoption. And in those days also, kings and queens, if they did not have any child of their own, they used to adopt the child of some nearby relatives. Understand? Jhansi Rani Lakshmibai, you heard? The great woman of our country. She did not have any child. Once she had, but unfortunately child was died. Then her husband was Gangadhar Rao. He was very old and this Jhansi Rani Lakshmibai was very young. Lot of difference, age difference was there. He frequently used to fall sick. Who? Her husband. So they had decided to adopt the child of their relatives. The child's name was Damodar Rao. Damodar Rao. Understand? This news went to British, Lord Dalhousie. He came to know about it. And the ritual was going on, adoption process was going on. He comes there and wants to stop it. But she did not stop. She was very brave lady. She did not bend to the British. What is this doctrine of? According to the British rule, the people who do not have their own children, next to them successor were their own children. No? ఇప్పుడు నీవు కింగ్ ఉన్నావు, నీ తర్వాత నీ ప్లేస్లో ఎవరు వస్తారు? మీ ఫ్యామిలీ హెడ్ అంటే నీవు ఎల్డర్ బ్రదర్, నీవు ఉంటే నీవు, లేకపోతే నీ ఎల్డర్ బ్రదర్ అవుతాడు కదా ఫ్యామిలీ హెడ్. అలా The king after his prince should become the next legal ruler of the throne. But according to doctrine of lapse, if any king did not have any issues means children of his own, his kingdom will be attested to the British rule. Means if any king did not have any children of his own, his kingdom will be taken away by the British and some royalty will be given to him. This was not liked by who? Rani Lakshmibai. Till her last breath she fought with the British for the cancellation of this. Very horrible it is. And one more thing, the major cause, these are all things, and one more thing was lot of taxing, Lagan it is called, even picture also is there, Amir Khan's picture, Lagan. Whatever the farmers grow, 75% of it should be given to the British government as Lagan tax. Only some part, small part used to be with them, which was not enough for them to feed their family or meet the requirements of the family. This was one more reason. That is how, because of such reasons, India became poorer and poorer. Lastly, one more, the major reason for India, this all made the Indians very, very, very sad about British rule. They did not do any progressive work for the Indians, developmental work for the Indians. Rather, they took away all the wealth from India. This was not liked by many kings of our country and other common men also. Then, last major problem was, I already told you, British people had an army. In that army, the soldiers were almost all Indians were the soldiers. And you know, those British people, they appointed Britishers on higher posts, officer posts, and only lower soldiers posts were Indians. This was one more cause. Then what happened? Once they introduced a different type of cartridge, children. Cartridge means mandu. రైఫల్లో వేసి కాల్చే మందుని కార్ట్రిడ్జ్ అంటారు. రైఫల్లో, అండర్స్టాండ్? అండ్ దిస్ కార్ట్రిడ్జ్ హ్యాడ్ వన్ స్ట్రేంజ్ థింగ్. వాట్ వాజ్ ఇట్? ఇట్ షుడ్ బి బిటన్ ఆఫ్ బై యూజింగ్ ద టీత్. ఇట్లా పళ్ళతో కొరికి బాంబు పారేయాలి, లేక ఆ రైఫల్లో ఇరికించి షూట్ చేయాలి. This was not liked by the soldiers in the British Army, Indian soldiers in the British Army. Why you know? Indians' religious feelings were hurt. In the British Army, the Indian soldiers, they were from all religions, and Hindus, Muslims, etc. These cartridges were greased, oiled by cow and pig fat. Cow and pig's fat. Understand? So, they hesitated to bite it off with their teeth. Why? Because cow is a sacred animal for the Hindus. Gomata ani పూజిస్తాం కదా మనము. అయితే అది అంత పెద్ద హోలీ యానిమల్, మనము ఎంగిల్ చేసినట్టు కదా అని ఫీల్ అవుతారు. అండ్ పిగ్స్, ముస్లిమ్స్ హేటెడ్ ద పిగ్స్. దే డోంట్ ఈట్ పోర్క్ అండ్ ఆల్. డూ యూ నో వాట్ ఈస్ పోర్క్? పిగ్స్ మీట్ ఈస్ కాల్డ్ పోర్క్. దే డోంట్ ఈట్. ఓకే, సో ఇట్ వాస్ a kind of clash with the British by the Indian soldiers, and they, you know, they troubled them like anything, ill-treated, I can tell. Then what happened on March 29th, March in the year 1857, the soldier from the Indian soldier in the British army disagreed to use those cartridges. His name was Mangal Pandey. He was a Brahmin soldier. He is pure vegetarian. That's why cows and pig's fat, it was non-vegetarian thing. No, from the cow's body it was extracted. From pig's body it was extracted, taken out. That's why he did not like to bite them. So on 29th March 1857, he first time revolted against the British. He said, "No, I am not going to bite it. Do whatever you want to do." Then they tied both the hands up and they beat him like anything. And he spit on the British officer's mouth. "Thu tu Angrez ka kutta" అని చెప్పి తిట్టి వాడిని ఒప్పుకోలేదు అసలు లాస్ట్ వరకు. వాళ్ళు చంపేసిన he did not use it. This was the spark. కిచ్చు అంటాం చూడండి. Spark started. Indian freedom movement spark started by Mangal Pandey. Where it happened? It happened in Uttar Pradesh, place called Meerut. Meerut is the place where this incident took place. So children, 1857, I already told you the link between 1757 and 1857. Exactly after 100 years, major war against the British started. This was the beginning, but that time it was suppressed somehow. Understand? But it is Mangal Pandey who revolted against the British for first time. He was a soldier, and that too Brahmin soldier, vegetarian. So he did not get ready to bite those cartridges with his mouth. And he strictly revolted, strongly said that I am not going to use them. Do whatever you want. In that way, he opposed the British for the first time. That's why it is even called the first war of independence also, children. It happened in Meerut. After that, slowly, వైల్డ్ ఫైర్ అంటారు చూడండి, ఫారెస్ట్లో ఒక చిన్న కిచ్చు పడి ఏమంటారు ఫైర్ది చిన్న ఇది పడితే కూడా స్పార్క్ పడిన మొత్తం ఫైర్ అంటుకుంటుంది మొత్తం ఫారెస్ట్ అంతా. అలా అక్కడ నుంచి స్టార్ట్ అయింది మన ఫ్రీడమ్ మూమెంట్. ఇది ఇట్ స్ప్రెడ్ లైక్ ఏ వైల్డ్ ఫైర్. ఓకే చిల్డ్రన్, దెన్ ఆన్ 10th May 1857, the real revolt of 1857 started. So this was the revolt started by the soldiers of Indian soldiers in the British army. So it is called Sepoy Mutiny. Sepoy means soldiers. Mutiny means what? Hesitation against the legal rule. Understand? So it is also called the first war of independence. It is also known as the first war of independence. And it is also known as the revolt of 1857. Revolt of 1857 అని కూడా అంటారు. These all are the names of our first war of independence. Who started? Mangal Pandey. On 29th March in Meerut he started. How he started? The British introduced new cartridges, new baruds I can say, which were bitten off using the teeth. Then Mangal Pandey refused to use it because it hurt his religious feelings. Not only his, all the soldiers Indian soldiers in the British army. Why? Because Indians considered cow as the sacred animal, Gomata, like a goddess, and Muslims hated pigs. So they revolted against the British, and on 10th May, completely throughout India, this revolt began. And people had their own though they were from all over the country parts. It is not only the Mangal Pandey in Meerut, but from Delhi, from Awadh, from so many places, Jhansi, Bihar, so many places, the kings joined each other. They had their own reasons. Everybody's reason was not the same. They had their own reasons, but their aim was to quit away the British from our country. They did not like British rule. Rani Lakshmibai revolted against adoption rule doctrine of lapse. Then Babu Kumar Singh, land taxing matter. Then Begum Hazrat Mahal and Liaquat Ali. They were against lady rulers. British were against lady rulers. And the ruler of Delhi, the last Mughal emperor, what was his name? Bahadur Shah Zafar. They all revolted for their own reasons. Understand? British took away his rule and he was a blind person. They took his son under their control. His son, Bahadur Shah Zafar's son, was giving away all the loopholes to them. That is how our own people became our own enemies, means we can't withstand. We all together means we can fight any kind of, what to say, problem. Okay. So that is how these all people came together. Tantya Tope, Babu Kumar Singh, Bahadur Shah Zafar, Lakshmi Bai of Jhansi, Liaquat Ali, Begum Hazrat Mahal of Awadh, and Nana Sahib, who was the who used to call Rani Lakshmi his sister. They all came together and they all decided to fight against the British. But the what to say? The fight was also started. After the fierce battle, British soldiers captured Delhi city and palace. They took it under their control, and this Bahadur Shah Zafar was blind by one eye. They took away his eyes, children. See how brutally they used to. పీకేస్తారు కళ్ళు అయినవి తీసి అండమాన్ నికోబార్ జైలులో తీసుకుపోయి ఆయనని పడేస్తారనమాట. పడేసి మొత్తం ఆయన సామ్రాజ్యం అంతా వీళ్ళే తీసేసుకుంటారు. అండర్స్టాండ్? థౌజండ్స్ ఆఫ్ కింగ్స్ fought, but they were hanged to death. And Rani of Jhansi, she was just 27 years old, children.